Good morning, welcome to the Goddess Jazzy show. How are we after our bank holiday Monday? Oh my god, talk about feeling it. Oh gee whiz. Right, I'm waiting for my I was going to say customers, Lord have mercy, forgive me, my guests to come in. There's traffic outside. Jason is my telephone hello, good morning, is my telephone guest. He'll be ringing in at 9 o'clock. He's a psychologist. We're going to get into it. Ceri will be coming in shortly. Oh, so how are we this morning? I am absolutely finished. I'm totally finished. Hello everybody, good morning, good morning. Totally finished. What a bank holiday. I had a wicked afternoon tea yesterday. Oh my god, it was so nice. Shout out to Revolutionary. I did tell them that I would shout them out today. Shout out to Revolutionary for the lovely customer service, the lovely afternoon tea. The treat of the I don't know what you call it, but it was like coffee martini espresso with vodka. So that was really nice, you know. Shout out to my brother for coming. It was really nice. We spent that time together. That was really great. Brother from another mother. What else? For the shout out to my beautiful goddaughter Tasia. Hi, Auntie loves you. Shout out to my niece Ruth, who'll be having a baby real soon. Auntie loves you, loves you, loves you. I'm so proud of you. Who else? Who else? Shout out to my family members, Dana, Keith, all of you. Julius, a lot of you. Shout them out. Shout out to my wonderful son who helped aid me to go to hospital last week because I had to have an iron infusion and I had to make sure his eye was on the bag. You know, that bag. Not the money bag, the bag to say that it's not a, what do you call it, blood transfusion. So yeah, I want to shout him out for that. Shout out that we will be working together, we'll be acting together. Mum and son, lovely. What else? And the weather's lovely. Oh god, I'm so happy. The weather makes me nice and happy. Listen, so before my guest comes on, there's a song I've been playing, getting here. 1 second, let's see how I'm going to do this. And it's by Mary J. Blige, right? And it's called Good Morning Gorgeous. I think that's my new tagline. Not that I'm being vain or anything like that, but I think everybody should wake up and tell yourself you're gorgeous. You know what I mean? Even if you're feeling like a terrible day ahead, just wake up and say good morning gorgeous. That's what I done this morning with my toes, but I done a video of it. Oh yeah, I want to shout out to Tom. Hello, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Shout out to Tom Skinner. Thank you so much, Tom, for Saturday, for coming from your stall and give me a little review. I really appreciate you. And I'm really proud of what you're doing for the young people as well. And I can't wait for you to come onto the show when you get the time. I understand, you know. So I'm going to shout you out. Thank you so much. You know, it's a joy to meet you as well. Right, I'm going to play this song by Mary J. Blige. Oh my God, so you better get up and dance because I feel like it. 1 second. Here we go. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Right, it's way back in the day. But the song is just so nice. And if you're feeling like, you know, a little bit, I don't know, just get up to this song. Right, here it is. It's called Good Morning Gorgeous by Mary J. Blige. And here we go. Hope you enjoy. 1 second. And I'm just going to mute you for a moment. Welcome back to the Goddess Jazzy Show. That was Mary J. Blige and Good Morning Gorgeous. If you didn't feel it in your soul when you wake up in the morning before you put your makeup on or whatever, just feel gorgeous. And I swear to you, I felt like that this morning. Got my toes done in lovely bright green, and I said, good morning gorgeous to my toes. So wake yourself up and say, good morning gorgeous. So what else has been happening? I just like to say, I have my certificate because last weekend, I think it was, I was in Birmingham. It's called the Hive Tech Conference. It comes every year where doctors and nurses and trainees come together to see what other medications on the, how can I put it, on the market really, and what's working and what's not. So yes, I was a trainee Hive Tech member. And they've emailed me to say I've passed. There's still more to go along, you know what I mean? To understand the whole HIV world. So yeah, I was really, really happy about that. What else? Yeah. How am I feeling about working with my son? So he's an Aries. So he can be very passive aggressive. That's the new word of today. He can be, oh, my guest is here. Right, 1 second. Hold on, people, hold on. Oh. Good morning, darling. Come in. Are you in? Oops. Yeah, come up. I'm going to play a song. Okay, I'm back. So my guest is here. 1 second. I'm out of breath. Let me play a song to give her a break, to get her to make her relax a minute. 1 second. Come in. 1 sec. Let me just play a song so my guest can have a little rest. 1 second, people. Let's see if this is working. Okay. Right, let's play this. Let's hope this is got what it is on there. No, it hasn't. You relax 1 second. Oh my goodness, where's your songs? All right, here we go. Here we go. I'm just going to play the Best of Soul music compilation. I hope you enjoy. Here we go. Here we go.
Hello, lovely.
Hello, my love. Let me... Welcome back to the Goddess Jazzy Show. That was soul music, chill and R&B soul. My guest is just in the lavatory, and then we're going to get into it when she comes back. So where are we? People, one thing about having low iron, it really slows you down. At first I thought it was, oh, let me put my headphones on, hold on. Is that better? Yeah. At first I thought it was being overweight and eating too much crisps and chocolate, like, you know, and eat. But it isn't. It's because my iron dropped from a significant amount, and that gives you slowness and out of breathness. Is that the right word? Yeah, so that's how this week has been. What else? Yes, as I was saying, so I've got my Hive Tech first part certificate, which I'm happy about. And yeah, and here comes my lovely guest. She'll be here right now. Oh my goodness me. Come and join me. Yeah.
Hi.
Hello, my love. How are you? Have a
Good.
seat. See if that's all right. The seat for you there. Let me try to edge this. Sherry. This is why we needed Andy. I thought Andy was going to come and help me. Okay. You good?
I'm good.
You good? I can't see you. I should learn this because this lady just taught me all of this. But I'm very Is that it? I need to get close to her. That's right. Welcome. Let me get it right. I've been calling you Sherry for too long.
It's Ceri.
It's Ceri. People,
Yeah, it's a Welsh thing. Don't worry about it.
I'll be like, what is it? And she used to tell me off. Anyway, welcome, Sherry. This is Sherry Dingle. She is. Now, what does this mean? The FRSC. What does that mean?
Fellow of the Royal Society of the Arts.
Oh, tell us more.
Well, there's not a lot to say about that. And my main title, I suppose, is as the director of the charity World Right.
Yes.
And World Bites, our citizen TV channel. But FRSA just means that you've been made kind of nominated as someone who's contributed to the arts and culture.
Okay.
So, you know.
Is it like an MBE?
Oh, I wish. No, not as prestigious as that. And I don't know if I'd be into anything royalty related anyway. That's not my thing. But, it's useful to have those things after your name.
Yeah.
But I suppose it hasn't. I thought it might help the charity win some grants or something, but that hasn't worked.
No, not even with that. Oh my God. Let's go way back, Sherry. So Ceri, rather. How long has World Rights been around, and what made you do this? What was the direction?
Well, it's actually World Rights 30th anniversary this year. So that makes me very old, as you can imagine. I am. I was 65 last week. So
hey, look at you.
Oh,
look at you. Oh my God, I'm not just saying that. Look at you. Gosh.
No, I feel it. My bones feel it.
Yeah.
So we set the charity up in Birmingham with a load of youngsters about 30 years ago. I was running an anti-censorship art space.
Okay.
And these artists really started to get on my nerves. Well, we were all voluntary and running this art centre, and we were running a CAF as volunteers and everything, trying to fund it. And we were doing illegal raves. Once a fortnight, because that brought the money in. And then we'd put all the gallery back. Yeah. On a Monday morning.
Oh, I see. So
we dismantle a gallery. We'd have to roll carpets out over the flooring because raves were raves. And see how long we could get away with it. And we did for quite a while until the law against repetitive beats came in, and raves were made illegal. Yeah. There was huge campaigns. That was the early 90s, I think. Okay. Yeah, when all that happened. And anyway, and we had all these artists who would come in and say, you need to show my work, it's been censored. In other words, no one will show it. Yeah. And you're like, it's not that, it's just not very good. And so people who would think their art had been censored it hadn't been censored, it hadn't been selected. Do you know what I mean? To show. And then there were other artists who said, oh no, I need that whole wall, my work must go there. And you're like, no, we're volunteers running this space, so I'm afraid we decide where your art will go. It doesn't. And meanwhile, I started working with a load of youngsters because we were running this open submission exhibition, so anyone could put their work in on the, I think it was the 40th anniversary then of of Hiroshima. The atomic bombing of Hiroshima. So we did this kind of anti-war, anti-militarist show, and we had all these youngsters put stuff in. And so I organised a meeting with these youngsters, and that's where World Right was born.
Wow. And then you came to London with it, or you stayed in
No, I stayed in Birmingham, and then we opened centres in Nottingham and Bristol and Glasgow. And they became impossible because I found myself running around the country doing things like having fights with landlords over a youth space that was run by youth that was just, turned into a party nightmare, So I was running around the country dealing with batting off hysterical landlords saying, these young people are out of control, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And we then decided we would come to London, and that was about 25 years ago.
Wow.
We used to have a centre in Holborn that we got really cheap. Yeah. It was very nice. We got a cheap basement that we did up. And then when the dot-com boom thing happened, the people in the upstairs above us wanted the basement. So they bought us out. And it was really funny because it wasn't our building and property, we'd got a lease, but they said, what will your losses, you need to give us a budget for your losses of what your income would be. And we had no income. So I just said, well, it's gonna be 20 grand losses and all this. Yeah. And I wish I'd doubled it actually. And they gave us the 20 grand. And
no questions asked, nothing.
And and they to leave. And so that paid for us to move the charity to Hackney into this derelict building, which we leased from the council. We'd got a year's rent free. We negotiated because it was bad? The floor's gone through and holes in the roof, and we spent all that 20 grand and probably another 20 grand, which we borrowed, rewiring it, doing the whole thing. And that's where we are now. So why would the council help though? If it's for a good cause, why won't they help? Well, they gave us a year rent free and then and a low rent. But then after we'd made it good, and Hackney at this point, 25 years ago, Hackney Council was put into administration. It was such a mess. It was an administrative, cock up. And then couple of years of being in there and making the place really good and getting loads of young people and others all excited and involved, they doubled the rent and we nearly had to leave, but we stuck it out. And we've been there now for 25 years. Gosh. And but we've only got 4 years left on the lease and they're going to redevelop the site, so we've got to go somewhere in 4 years' time. Have you looked at where you're going to be going? Or no, I'm trying not to think about it. Well, we've got no money at the moment, so I haven't been paid any money since the middle of last year. Gosh. So I've got to find other bits of work. And I've been hanging on and not doing that because I wanted to get the film that you've seen, our recent film, finished. We've got to talk about that, And then we've got to find, so if your listeners have got any good ideas, I mean, for us, for the charity and for providing a free filmmaking facility for young and old, we've got all the gear, but we need somewhere that's going to be a big enough space. It's got good storage for all the cameras. How many volunteers are there? Oh, well, we have about 300 in a year, so we have a lot. So you need a big space then. We need but we only need to fit 30 or 40 at a time, or maybe 50 would be better. You know, sort of couple of offices, kitchenette, and a big room for the cameras and studio. And so a community centre that's not happening, that needs a new lease of life.
People, please, this is a wonderful charity. I learnt there, so it is wonderful. Please, if you can help with a space, shout me out, and I will pass it on to Kerry without a doubt. Yeah.
So that's where we're at.
Yeah, 4 years. That will go like nothing.
No, don't say that. I don't want to think about it, Jenny. I need to get back to raising funds so that we're able to move. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because I also know that there's going to be a battle ahead with Hackney Council saying you're liable for this and that, even though when we took it on it was derelict. They won't count. They won't count that. All the money we've spent over the years, thousands we've spent
to fix it up.
God. But there's things, the roof's got a problem again.
Yeah.
And, if they turn around and say, well, part of the lease agreement is you're liable for the roof, then I'd be like, well, send me to prison because I can't pay it. Get a grip. You've had a really good 25 years of us looking after your building and paying you
and
for it.
Keeping it standing as well.
And making it look good all the time.
Yeah.
And bringing people to Hackney. And we've paid you good rent. And you think you're now going to screw us? I don't think so.
Oh, people. Oh. So let's get into it with the film Solidarity. Oh, my God. It was so good.
Oh, you enjoyed it?
I did. I wanted more.
Yeah.
When it's finished, I was like, I'll leave just a little bit more. It's a little bit. One of those cliffhangers. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much in it. So this film, the UK Solidarity Story, this came out of going out on the streets well over a year ago now, really just after the Russia invaded Ukraine, and with a lot of youngsters, and we were doing on the streets vox pops, messages of support and solidarity for Ukraine. And loads of young people were going, what's solidarity then? What is it? Now, you can't blame young people. Why would they have ever really heard of it? The idea that you take sides with people.
Yeah.
And the other thing was very obvious, was that people were confusing solidarity with pity. So people would say, oh yeah, I feel really sorry for people in Ukraine. It's awful. And of course, you do feel sorry for them when it first happened, and there were people were having kicked out of their country, had to leave, and refugees coming here and all that. Of course, you do. You'd be a bit of not a nice person if you weren't sympathetic, didn't sort of appreciate it. But pity isn't solidarity. You can't really. Solidarity is much more about taking sides with people and wanting to help them win. And so,
good way to explain it, yeah.
And so that's where we decided. I started looking, what books are there, what articles are there I can pass on to the young adults we work with, for them to bone up on the subject and feel better informed. And there wasn't. So I said, right, okay, we got to fill the gap here, and do a job that a proper documentary should do, and really investigate what are the historical precedents, what are the stories from the past which show us what solidarity is. And then, of course, there's hundreds of stories, actually. It's really hard, but we wanted ones that were really kind of slightly cutting edge, not known about. And so that's where the film was born.
It was really, really an eye-opener. Can people still go and watch it?
Well, we've got a big screening if you're up north. The next screening...
North where?
Britain. Britain at the moment. I'd love it to go global. Maybe it will. It's screening in Leeds.
In Leeds,
on Monday the 27th. If you just...
Of this month?
Yeah, Monday the 27th of May. Screening in Leeds. And tickets on Eventbrite, just £3 or £5.
Yes.
And love to have you there. And we've got some of the main contributors for the film. So one of the chapters that you'll have noticed is on the volunteers from Britain who went and fought in the Spanish Civil War, who went and fought fascism. 5,000 of them went from Britain. This is in the 30s, and hundreds were killed. But they went over to Spain to fight on the side of the Republic against Franco's fascist forces. And an extraordinary thing, and they were mostly teenagers and in their 20s.
It makes you think, could you, if you was to look at yourself, could you at that age go and do that? I thought about it and I'm thinking, I don't know.
I don't know if I'd have felt that passionate, would I have done it?
Would you have done it? You know?
Because when I was in my 20s, I did feel I still do. You know, I'm sort of, people always say, oh, Ceri, it must be terrible working with you because you're angry 24/7. I'm like, hello, you know.
Yeah.
I do like having a laugh. But yeah, there are a lot of things make me angry. So maybe in a different political era with those things going on, you know, going off to fight in Spain against the wishes of your own government because it was illegal to go. You know, you couldn't do it legally. Would we have done it?
I asked myself that question after the film. Would I have actually picked myself up and said, you know what, I'm doing this? I don't know.
And they just did.
And they just done it, you know?
So there's stories like that. Anyway, the guy who's written a book on the Spanish Civil War knew people, because there's nobody alive still now who went. But he knew people when they were alive. Anyway, he's coming to speak after this screening, so that's very good.
That's nice, yeah.
And then, well, we're hoping that we'll show the film even further north because there's a chapter called The Battle of Bamba Bridge.
Okay.
This is about the black American GIs who were supported by the local white community in opposition to segregation, because when black GIs came here during the Second World War and were stationed here, and your listeners may know this, America was still segregated and the army was segregated, and you know, African American GIs were only allowed to do the shittiest jobs. You know, they weren't allowed to carry weapons. They just had to do the cleaning and the catering and the servicing. And I know, which we didn't get into in the film, but in the extended chapters that we're bringing out, one of the things that's clear is that those who signed up, you know, African American GIs who signed up, thought that it would be good, mean when they get home they'd be treated as equals, and they'd get the right to vote, and they'd get an end to Jim Crow. And of course when they went back they didn't, you know. And some of them, you know, like other heroes of mine, like which I made a film on before, like CLR James. CLR James said, he's the guy who famously wrote about the slave revolts, but he said, you know, don't sign up, don't fight in the war effort, because, you know, a bit like Muhammad Ali said, no Viet Cong ever called me the N-word. CLR James said, don't fight for America, because it's not Hitler, however bad he is, it's not Hitler that's denying you equality, it's Roosevelt. Your problem is at home. But anyway, they did come over, and, you know, thousands of African American GIs were stationed here, and Britain went along with segregation. The British government went along with it.
Wow.
But local people didn't, and they said, no, we're not having these people treated different to us. You know, these are our friends. And so we thought it was important to tell this little story where a fight broke out in Bamba Bridge. This is up in Lancashire, in this little cotton town, and between the African American GIs and the white, all the military police were white. Fight breaks out, and the locals side with the GIs, and all the pubs had, you know, black troops welcome. And people were invited to Sunday lunch and became friends, and so the Preston Black History Group, which is a group up there in Bamba, they've made a real project of this story and this history, and found out, you know, like there was a black GI called William Crossland got shot dead by the white military police. 14 African American troops were court-martialed, and so they've been really tracing all the stories and the witness testimonies. And there's a lady she was unfortunately not in a fit state to be in the film. She's 98 or something, who remembers what happened back in whenever it was, you know, 43. And but she remembers she was a kid, and she remembers looking out her window and her parents saying, you know, you got to stay indoors. But watching what was going on.
Gosh.
With African American troops being fired on by these white military police. So, you know, there's some great stories, but that's real solidarity, you know, taking sides with other people that don't have the same experience as you, but nonetheless recognising they're on the side of right, and and you want them to win. And so it's another great story.
Well done you. Well done you. So what's next?
Well, we're going to be releasing, we're going, obviously we want to get this film screened all around the country. So if any of your listeners are interested in hosting a little screening anywhere in the country, we'd be so up for that. So up for it. It's a very exciting film.
It's lovely. Really, really, it leaves you hanging for more. That's
Jenny will tell you it is. And the feedback we've had so far is like, oh, people said, oh, you brought tears to my eyes. You've you know, re-inspired.
And it was enough. It wasn't overly too much either, so you could concentrate on your segment.
I don't think it's not like banging people over the head with a history book, because that makes it dull. I find it exciting, and we had got so much stuff, we had to cut it down and cut it down and cut it down. But people have said, you know, it's re-inspired my faith in humanity, and so it's quite exciting. So if you want a screening, shout Jenny, she'll give us a shout.
Give us a call and let me know where you're at, honestly.
And we'll go with it. So we're screening it around the country. We're going to start putting it in film festivals. Then before the end of the year, we'll put it out online, so it's free for everyone to watch. And we can't put it out online yet, because if you do that, the film festivals won't touch your film if it's already out.
Oh, okay, that's how it works.
Yeah, unfortunately, they want to have exclusivity, which they're not going to get exclusivity. But if you put it out online, that's it. You're disqualified, unfortunately. So if you're into making short films and putting them in festivals, make sure you know that.
That's interesting.
Don't put them out. And then we're going to. There's 10 chapters in the film. And so we've just talked about 2 of them. But each one of those chapters we're going to release. So this is just for Jenny, because she wants more.
Yeah, I do.
We're going to release them as short films. So each one will be a standalone 25-minute film.
That's nice,
So they'll have a bit more detail than they do in
because I was literally hanging on the seat thinking,
give me more.
Give me more. You know?
And so I hope that'll work. And they're going to be quite a bit of work. So we'll release one a month all year. And see how that goes. But they'll be, you know, on YouTube, and anyone can have a look. And so it'll be whatever it's called, like the Battle of Bamburgh Bridge.
Oh, right. You know, titles like that, different.
Subtitle UK Solidarity Story, which is the main film name. Do you know what I mean? So we're doing that, and then we've got a big crew meeting with volunteers end of this week to discuss what's next. And I've got some ideas.
Have you?
Yeah.
As usual.
And your listeners might have some ideas, in which case...
Please, people, please.
Send them in.
186
what should we make our next big documentary project with no money on?
I like that, with no money on. Oh, Lord. Oh,
so there is, you know, if you start saying we'll go and film in Ghana, which we have, we shot 5 films in Ghana.
Oh, my God, I wish I was there. Oh, my God.
we did a great series. It was fantastic. And there's still friends and villages in Ghana that we try and get a bit of cash for.
Yeah. Here's some water.
I should go and get some water.
Yeah, let me play a song. We'll be back. I'm going to play another song, and it is, let's see, this. 1 second. And it's so hot in here as well. All right, I hope you enjoy. There you go. Let me just mute that. This. Welcome back to the Goddess Jazzy Show. I'm here with Ceri Dingle. You know you sound like an Emmerdale farm.
Oh, I know. That's terrible. I'm not from that part of the world. I'm from Somerset.
You're from Somerset originally.
So you can hear it if I say mother. Or
yeah, I can hear that curl.
Horses. Or corn. And butter. Stuff like that. But I work really hard to kill that accent. Well, yeah, but can you imagine? You do sound thick. It's really unfortunate.
Oh, don't say that.
No, it's terrible, but it's true. You know, so when I was younger, and I wanted to do all sorts of stuff, and I was really into theatre, you know, when I was sort of 16, and you know, you sound like that, and you talk like that. And
but you sound a bit Bristol as well.
Yeah, but that is, you know, Bath, Bristol, that is Somerset.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
It's lovely here.
And yeah, it's great, but it's got a terrible accent.
Oh,
you know, people love the Geordie accent. They actually like Welsh. That's supposed to be
Welsh is nice.
One of the popular accents. But how many people do you hear? You know, imagine doing a radio show.
Like that.
Hello, this is, you know.
Yeah, but it's soothing.
You know.
It's got like a soothing appeal to it, you know.
And so, well, I don't know. Would you like to support our charity? No, I don't think so.
Oh my God.
It's just unfortunate. So I work really hard to kill
To
it.
kill it. Do you go up there much?
Down there,
Down
yeah.
there, sorry.
Yeah, it's down there.
Mm.
Well, yeah, my mum, who's in her 90s, and
so good.
yeah, she's all right, and so I go down when I can, but it is a trek,
Yeah, it's a drive and a half, isn't it?
Anywhere. Just coming across London to South London today was a trek.
Yeah.
But that was
I didn't
2
know
hours.
I didn't know there was a train strike.
Where have you been?
Under a rock, darling.
No, you've got the ASLEF train strike. Train drivers today, and I think you've got tubes as well at some point this week.
Is it?
So at the moment it's overground today.
Oh my gosh.
So nightmare.
Anyway, you picked him, so it's your fault. You know
Oh
who.
right, okay.
I heard that Andy does restoration.
Yes.
Yeah.
Andy is my husband. If you want to know who Jenny's on
Yeah,
about.
Andy, lovely Andy. Oh, it's so lovely.
He's a lovely guy and he's very funny. But yeah, he's an art restorer. He does what we call mend broken art.
Oh, mend broken. Yeah, I like that.
But he's finding it difficult to get bits of work at the moment. Sometimes,
with that type of work, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he'll go a couple of months where he's got loads of paintings he's working on, and then he'll have somebody's gilding on a ceiling, or I don't know, some ornate plaster work or something like that, and then it all dries up, and you don't get anything.
It's specialist, isn't it? That's really why.
Yeah, it's kind of artisan craft specialist. So at the moment he hasn't got any work on at the moment. He just did one finished painting a few weeks ago. Yeah, and now it's all dried up, and then at the end of May he's just doing some house decorating. Yeah. For somebody because he just needs work. Yeah. So
but you don't have to take it easy, When are you going to retire?
Oh yeah. God. Well, I ain't got any money to retire, so and you can't. I'm not entitled to my state pension until I'm women now at 66.
Are you having a laugh?
No, it's not 65. It's 66. So I can't get a state pension for another year, and I've just got anyway. The pension is crap. How are you going to live on that?
And look how you have to wait that old to enjoy it. It doesn't make sense.
It's just under £800 a month. Well, how will you pay? What are you gonna pay your, rent and bills on that? Get a grip.
God, I'm glad you've told us that, because
you'd be living in a toilet if you're lucky.
Oh my God! I'm glad you've said that, because a lot of people don't know.
The pension is just terrible. Everyone relies on having some other. I haven't got a private pension anywhere. No, I've been doing all sorts of creative stuff that I love, but it's never paid. I'm relying on the lottery tickets.
Me too. Just remember me when you win. I mean it.
Well, likewise.
Oh my God! Oh, Terry, it's so nice to see you. It was nice to see you at the screening as well. It's just it's such a joy always to see you. Honestly, it's really lovely. Who's ringing in? The psychologist. What's his name? He'll be ringing in soon. I met him there. You know him? Oh God, what's his name? Blonde hair. Oh Jesus, Mark. Is it Mark? No, Mark was in last week. You'll know him. He'll ring in. Yeah, it's a psychologist. And the other guy's meant to come in. The one who's in the film. My brain is like sawdust. And I can't remember. He wrote it on paper, and guess what? I think I threw the paper away. His number.
James Hartfield.
Is that his name?
He did the mill workers story.
And he was talking through it.
Yeah, he did the story
Glasses.
of the... Yeah, he did the story of the... this is the cotton weavers in Lancashire.
Him. Yeah, this guy.
People don't know this story. This is from the 1860s, so it's, 160 years ago. But so the mill workers this is the Manchester area, Lancashire, Cotton Town, and it was known as King Cotton. When the Civil War broke out in America, and the South is revolting against the North and going for secession, that's the slave states in the South. Yeah. Of course, all the cotton came from the South. Okay. Yeah. And so the North put an embargo on cotton being exported to try and stop the slavery in the South and win against the South. And you'd think the obvious thing would be that cotton weavers in Britain, who relied on that cotton coming in for their industry, would be on the side of the South because that's cotton.
Their cotton
but
trade.
No, they wanted to take the sides with the abolition of slavery and the North, so they wouldn't touch the slave cotton and they starved. And the British government and the so-called anti-slavery people in Britain all sided with the slave owners on the side of big cotton, because that was the money. Was the money, and whereas the mill workers refused, and so there was a period known as the cotton famine. It's very famous, and most people don't even know this story. That white, poor, impoverished mill workers in Lancashire, which was and that's the main employer, so you're talking thousands, sided with the abolition of slavery and starved. And if you want a real story of internationalism and solidarity, that is it. And people are still shocked by it. Like, I've had young adults saying to me, yeah, but why would they do that? You know, surely it was in their interest to go along with...
You'd think, innit? Yeah.
To go along with the South, and the government, the British government was on the side of the South, and people don't even know this. The British government that likes to big up how anti-slavery Britain was, you know, blah, 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 Wilberforce and all this stuff. The British government was actually secretly sending ships to back the South to support the Confederacy against the Union.
Now, doesn't it? Yeah.
You know, it was all just, you know, one big lie, and but the mill workers weren't having it, and they could see, you know, these people are not. We're not siding with the British government. We're not siding with the slave owners. We're on the side of emancipation, and they starved as a result. I'd rather starve than support slavery. Now that's impressive, that is solidarity.
That is serious,
That is serious solidarity, and people don't understand that. They write history backwards, and they go, oh, you know, white working class, you know, or anybody who's poor, they're all bigoted and they're all racist and all the rest of it. History tells us that's not true.
That's so interesting. Wow, that's really interesting. So we've got 6 minutes before our little break. You're having a meeting soon about
new ideas. And we're very keen to hear from your listeners if they've got any. So what I'm thinking...
Tell me.
I haven't put this to the crew yet, so it's totally unfair that I put it out on the air with you.
But it's good, because we've got somebody listening.
And all our young adults, because we work as a collective, so if they, you know...
It's such a family place, people, honestly, such a family, it's lovely community.
It's a great, working with a lot of people is always good, in my view, and you know, there's nothing like a collective brain for either getting battered because your ideas are rubbish, or getting exciting and learning, you know, getting excited because you improve your ideas from the young people, from the people you chat
to. Thumbs up to you for young people. Okay, so what is your dilemma?
It's not a dilemma.
Okay.
My idea for a new film project is to do... You might have heard of, there's a thing called, I think it was Richard Dawkins, that did A Brief History of Time, but I'm interested in doing A Brief History of Freedom.
Ooh.
So go right back to the Magna Carta and the first ideas of freedom, right up to now.
How does that look? You know what I mean? What does that look like?
I don't know. That's the thing. It's how would you make that visual? A visual story.
Yeah.
The early stuff will be hard because you can only use. If you look at the early people, like there was people like the Tolpuddle martyrs and very famous sort of rebels before the British Civil War, in other words, pre sort of 1700.
Yeah.
The only thing you can do is point to sort of landmarks and locations which have now completely changed.
That's
So
true,
you can have, it's talking heads. And this used to be
Be
the blah, blah, blah.
Gosh.
Or sort of woodcuts, you know, because you haven't got any...
Nothing left.
You've got no visuals.
Yeah.
When you go back 16th, 17th century, you're not going to...
Yeah, there's nothing...
There's not much you can point to, but there's some great stories. You know, like a guy called John Lilburn, who was very famous, he said, and he was put in the stocks, you know, when you were put in the stocks and you had rubbish and fruit thrown at you before you were hung and drawn and quartered and all sorts of things we'd rather not think about. But he, in his pamphlet, Early Ideas on Freedom, he said, "No man may rule me without my consent." Now that is the founding of freedom and democracy.
Yeah.
No man may rule me
without freedom and consent.
Without my consent.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's the...
Well, that's already chapter 1.
So that's the early stuff.
Yeah.
But what we're going to do, I'm not big on reenactments.
Oh, you're not?
Well, no, because they always look so crap, don't they? They always look so, you know, it's like when you see people going around with a sort of leopard skin on, talking about the dinosaurs. You're like, stop it. You know, if you've got really good CGI,
yeah,
you can pull it
off.
You
can pull it off, yeah.
But
no, nothing looking too
bad,
fake.
bad, crappy. You know, somebody looking poor in a wooden stocks, which I'm sure we can make.
If you can't
and then having fruit thrown at them while he's ranting off, just in Old English. Yeah. I mean, hello, no one is going to believe that. Do you know?
But then, how do you get to that?
Well, you can't do much. Yeah, you can't do much more than get your kind of little locations. You know, where these things happen. Yeah. You know.
I'll be an actress in it for you.
And talking heads and sort of presenters, you know, here was the
blah blah blah.
This is where the stocks were, where John Lilburn was, you know.
But that young guy was very good with his speech.
Who did the men supporting the suffragettes?
Yeah, he was brilliant. The way he spoke, and you know.
Well, some of the young adults we've got a real talent, you know, they really are. And once they get in the know on the subject matter, which is key, then, because I think what people think, oh, it's easy being a presenter, but you know what it's like. It's not that easy.
It's not that easy, no.
If you don't know your subject matter, it's actually quite hard, especially in a documentary or presenting a history program or show or something like that. You know, because it's not that you're just going to go away and learn your script. Yeah. And if you're doing a fiction and you're doing a film fiction, break. Oh.
think it will be going through. Just a few more seconds. 59. Yeah. Okay. Right. Welcome back to the Goddess Jazzy show. I'm here still with the lovely ceri dingle, and I've got a telephone call from Jason. Jason, can you hear me well? Oh, no, he can't. Can you hear me now? Okay, no. Can you hear me now, Jason? Oh.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay, lovely. So, people, I'm going to be speaking with Jason on the phone. I'm not sure how it is to connect, but we're gonna figure it out. Yeah, Jason, thank you so much for ringing in this morning. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Good?
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you very well. And can you hear me well?
Oh,
I think it's taping on here. I think so. So how are things? How is your mental well-being? Let me start with that.
well, I just had a sort of. I don't work on a Friday, so I've just had the 4 days off with the bank holiday, and I have to say I was incredibly lazy. I've done nothing. So yeah, I'm chilled.
You chilled. That's good. So you're ready to go for the week ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Straight back into it this morning. I'm straight back from seeing a client very early this morning.
Okay. And can I ask what type of work is it you do? You don't need to go into details on, but what do you cover?
So I'm a counsellor, psychotherapist. It all gets a bit confusing because there are lots of different types.
Yeah.
And in terms of what therapy is, you'll get a different answer from each therapist depending on who you ask. There are
Yes.
lots of different conceptualizations of what we actually do. But I work mainly with homeless people and sex workers.
Oh,
So that
bless you.
involves lots of problems. You can imagine,
Yes.
if you had somebody who lived rough sleeping on the streets for decades.
Yes.
It's there are lots of immediate problems that you've sort of developed along the way in those decades. Those kind of immediate problems that are particular difficulties like sort of addiction and just not really having an idea about how to fit into normal society. But then there's also the reasons why they came out in the first place, which often get left aside because the other issues are so immediate and problematic. Yeah.
And do you deal with men and women as well? Is that men and women or just... Yeah.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Also with some young people, I work in a homeless hostel once a week, which is for 16 to 24-year-olds.
Okay. And what is the hardest obstacle you yourself has faced while working with these young people and elders most probably? What's one of the obstacles that you found coming into that world,
Well, it's not a difficulty with an individual you're working with so much, right? It's because, psychotherapy is very much about two people sitting in a room and getting down to it with all of the most difficult issues that person might face. So you really bring yourself to that room.
Yeah.
It's about the relationship between both. You have to trust your psychotherapist.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
So the difficulties I face are probably they're much more about me and how I'm trying to conceptualize what's happening to the client.
Yes.
And my difficulties with that and my own sense of often just a sense of being able to do a good job. Am I doing what this client needs? Am I being able to work out what they need? Because it's not always the case that the client can tell you what they need.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And how do you take yourself out of that? Right. The reason why I'm going to say that to you, because before I was doing this, I was a HIV phlebotomist, and it was very hard for me to take myself out of it. You know, especially when I had to diagnose a patient, it was extremely hard. The amount of tears I cried, oh, it was just really hard for me to take myself out of that situation. So that's what I was trying to ask you. How do you manage to put on that face or put on that strength to say, you know what, that's that, without having that emotional tie, as to say?
I'm not sure it's about putting on a face. I think, you know, you are who you are.
Yeah, and you're human, isn't it?
Yeah, and your experiences help you in the work, right? So it's not like you go into the client and you put a face on it to become somebody else.
Yes.
No, you take your whole self into the room.
Okay.
But in order to be able to do that,
Yeah.
you know, there are mechanisms set up. So I'm sure you have the same thing if you work
Yeah.
in the NHS, you get supervision.
Yeah.
Not supervision in the sense of going to your boss and having a meeting.
Oh no, yeah.
But supervision in which you can do with another, probably a group of psychotherapists, maybe one-on-one, where you can go and talk about the difficulties you're having with clients, or you present what they're presenting and sort of tend to use the hive mind, if you like, and getting feedback about how other people might work, or people have got different experiences and different ways of working. And also self-care is particularly
Definitely, yeah, definitely.
So, I'm really into sewing.
You're into sewing?
I am.
Can you sew me a dress? Jason, sew me a dress. Don't waste time, sew me a dress.
I've never made a dress.
It doesn't matter, I'll give you the size and everything, it doesn't matter.
One of the reasons my bank holiday has been so chill is my sewing machine has been...
What exactly are you sewing then? What have you made?
4 days where I've been able to make anything. I've got a jacket half made.
That's good.
Wardrobe, yeah.
That's really good. When you finish that, please, just make me a dress. I'm asking in advance. You know what I mean? What's in advance? It's been taped.
I can't guarantee it'll be wearable.
Doesn't matter, I'll make use of it. No, I'm like, I'll make use of it. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's amazing. So how do you chill? So let's say you see, I don't know, I'm just going to throw out there 5 clients, maybe in the day, each day, I don't know. How do you chill after that? What, apart, is it your sewing that you go home to?
But not every day. It's a hobby, you know.
Okay.
I don't claim it to be any more than that. It's a hobby. Well, all sorts of things. I mean, just you also. 5 clients in a day would be a lot. I guess you know, if you're about the NHS, then maybe people would see more. But you know, you do. It's in order to do it properly, you really do have to allow yourself to be there for the client 100%.
Okay.
And if you're, you know, if you've got so much going around in your head from previous clients and you don't get a chance to just take some time for yourself, then it's very difficult to keep all of that in your head and actually be present for those individual clients. Right, so five clients a day would be a lot for me.
Oh, it's a lot. Okay. All right.
Do that and find their capable of doing that, but I know I couldn't.
Okay.
So what else do I do? I like going to the gym. I do mindfulness meditation.
Oh yeah, you did say
I do my sewing. I used to do a lot of cooking. I'm bored of that now. I let my husband do it.
He is a really good cook.
Right, tell hubby, please bring something to me, please.
He is a Jason is a really good
Is
cook.
he?
Yeah.
But now he's not cooking, he's letting hubby do it.
He's saying he's bored. Well, every time I've been to his house, Jason still cooks. So.
Okay. See, Jason, don't try to style it out. Can you tell hubby to cook me something as well, please?
Dinner dinner parties are different, you know, because you get to show off on it, I guess. If it's just a normal weekday and it's my turn to cook, I'm like, shall we have fish and chips?
Oh. So what's hubby's speciality that he cooks you? Has he got a speciality?
He does a really nice thing. It's called, I can't remember what it is in Italian. It's an Italian dish, but it translates as hunter's chicken, and it's tomato and olives, and originally it was with rabbit.
Oh.
But you can make it with chicken, and it's difficult to get rabbit. You have to order.
Yeah, rabbit's difficult now, isn't it? And duck, I think.
Yeah, rabbit is ridiculously expensive
Is
as
it?
well. Yeah.
Oh.
Given that, you know, when I go out, if I was to talk like that, you know, we just go out and shoot them.
Oh my God.
And you know, rabbit was 2 a penny.
Yeah.
But-
What does that mean? Because I was born in the 70s. What's 2 a penny mean?
Well, it means you'd get 2 for 1 pence. That's what 2 a penny means.
Okay.
But you know, they were ridiculously cheap. But now it's a really
Is
expensive.
it?
Yeah, it
Like a
counts
belly-
as game. Yeah.
Oh. And
yeah,
game
yeah.
is what now? Like that pheasant, is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
pheasant, quail, rabbits, grouse, you know, those kind of things. That's your game,
Where
really.
Waitrose sells them things. Okay.
Venison counts as game.
Oh. Anyway, Jason, can you please tell hubby I'd like a bit of hunter's chicken when he's ready? Thank you very much in advance. I'd appreciate it. Make sure I run you down. I mean it. Yep. Oh, thank you so much for joining us this morning and everything. We were talking about the Solidarity film. What parts did you like about it? Yeah. There's going to be more.
It was such a lovely screening.
Mm.
And I've been to quite a few of Kevin's Worldwide screenings, and I think the Solidarity film was a particular high
Yeah.
for me. I love the CLI James film as well, but I really like the Solidarity film.
Yeah.
I think the thing that stood out to me probably more than anything, and probably just because I have a fascination with this era, is the Spanish Civil War.
Oh, we spoke about that. Yeah.
Just because it's the period in history that it happened, and also our connection as British people to Spain anyway.
Yes.
And I guess I was the same as you, so
Yeah.
it's quite easy to see that connection about the sort of package of all the things that went on holiday, that connection.
Yes, that's right.
But it went back so much further.
Yeah.
Was not just people going on holiday. People went to fight in a war.
That's the question I asked.
With the people in Spain.
Yeah.
And I do wonder whether that.
Would you have done it though, Jason? If you put yourself, would you? I asked Kerry this morning, because she was back in her 20s. You were very passionate. She would have. I said to myself, I don't know. Would you have done it? Would you have just packed up at that age and said, you know what, I'm going to do this?
I bet he would have, you know.
You reckon? Because it's
very difficult. Well, I would like to imagine that I would, but it's very difficult to put yourself in an entirely different historical situation where the mood of the country was very different. And I think there was perhaps a level of optimism and belief in people that perhaps is not so prevalent now.
I think you're right, Jason. I think it's very hard to think about anything now. I ask the young adults we film with, our crew, is there anything that you'd be prepared to die for?
Yeah, gosh.
And, I can't think of, what would I be prepared to die for? Well, if my husband or something was attacked, or my mum or something, you would stand your ground and fight. And you know, maybe you get it in the neck, but maybe not. But then you, like the last chapter in the film, where you've got young Russians who are on the side of Ukraine, you know, against their own state, and one of the girls says,
she gave up her passport or something.
One of the girls gave up her citizenship, Russian citizenship. But one of the girls says, you know, well, is freedom and democracy worth dying for? Because that's what Ukrainians are doing.
Yeah.
And our young Londoners say, well, yes, of course. And she says, well, there you are. So if we had that scenario, wouldn't we react? You know, if we were invaded, would we react
That's the
like
thing.
Ukrainians? I think we probably would.
You think so?
Yeah, even with the crappy politics that we have today,
You think we'd get
whether
together
it's
and do it?
Sunak or Starmer or anyone else who seem to have no principles or passion about anything, you know, complete technocrats and managers. Nonetheless, I think there are plenty of people across the country who would just say, oh, hang on a minute, and would want to defend their home, family and country. I think they probably would. I think you would.
You reckon so? That might have to be the second chapter in the Freedom film.
Possibly.
Isn't it? See?
Yeah.
Jason? She's using us down there, I'll tell you. So, there's
a surprise.
There's a surprise. Right, there's a new... Cherry's just had a nice idea. I keep saying Cherry, that's me. About what freedom looks like. You know what I mean? What does freedom look like? To make a documentary on what does freedom look like?
Well, it's more, Jason, one of the ideas I'm putting to the crew, and I've said to, you know, Jenny's listeners, if they've got ideas on this, it would be great, or other ideas, is we're thinking our next big project will be on a brief history of freedom.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, going back to John Lilburn and no man may rule me without my consent.
Gosh,
in the 16th century. And, you know, right up to now. So it's a biggie, but it will be very exciting.
Yeah, I think so. So, Jason, what does freedom look like to you? You need to put a chapter in. I put mine in.
Well, there's a really interesting kind of crossover there, I think, with the work I try to do with clients. So, the way I practice therapy is I'm kind of influenced by existential ideas and also humanism. And existential ideas really are fundamentally about freedom. So on the one side, you have freedom as a social and political concept, which informs political movements, it informs the civil rights movement, it's about people getting out and creating a world that they want.
Nice.
But then there is the other side of freedom, which is something which is experienced on an individual level. It's internal, right? Do you feel free?
Do you feel free? Oh my God!
And much of the therapy that I'm conducting with clients is the difficulties they have with expressing their freedom, even being able to see themselves free. You know, it could be, you know, the relationships that we get involved in.
Yeah.
You know, perhaps they're problematic. But we...
Hashtag narcissism. Gosh.
Well, it could be narcissism, it could be, you know, or it could just
I'm still hurt, Jason. You need to speak to me because you're a psychologist. So I'm still hurt from it, I swear to you.
From your relationship.
Yeah, my narcissistic relationship. Yeah, I'm still hurt. I don't know how to deal with it.
So can I ask you then, your narcissistic relationship, what did you, when you came out of that,
What did I learn?
what was the experience for you? What was the feeling there?
The experience is, why didn't I know earlier? Well, because I'm old school, I didn't know what to look for. You know, young people know how to look for these things. I didn't know what to look for. I was just caught in a trap and I did not know what to look for. Yeah. When he was jealous, I thought maybe because I'm younger than him, he's behaving like that. I didn't understand that was called gaslighting or love bombing. All these words.
And did you blame yourself?
I tried to down who I was to make myself, you know, to make him feel comfortable, to make him feel you're not that old, you know. I'm flipping Ada.
And there's obviously a sense in which you adapted to the situation.
Yes. Because I like the way I was treated. I won't lie to you, Jason. The way I was treated was so nice.
So you exercise your freedom. You chose to adapt your behaviour because you valued that relationship so much, right? So we can get ourselves but now, looking back at it, you see that was not really a positive, healthy relationship.
None at all.
Right? So those two ideas. One, you know, I'm with a man I really love. You know, I don't see the issues, and then afterwards, Jesus, what the hell's going on there, right?
Yep.
How do you get from to the other? I say there's a process which we look at in therapy, which is about looking at yourself and thinking, you know, is this what I want?
Yeah.
Can I conceptualize the issue? And I don't do that, right? The therapist does very little. Right? I create the environment in which you are able to change yourself. Nice. Oh my God, it's just going in my head now. Do you know what, Jason? I woke up this morning, right? And this is what I said when I was coming here. Good morning, gorgeous. It's not me being vain. It's just me just accepting and knowing. Well, I got my toes done, to be honest. I want my toes to be shown. And the fact of it is, I wanted to show, this morning I said to people out there who don't feel worthy of themselves or happy about themselves, just to tell yourself good morning, gorgeous, every morning. It doesn't matter, you know. It really puts you on a high. Then I played the song by Mary J. Blige. Yeah, it says good morning, gorgeous. But it's... So you can't take me nowhere, but it makes you feel so uplifted, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of young women out there, young men that don't feel valued of themselves, but just wake up and good morning, gorgeous. Even if you feel, if you wear makeup and you, before your makeup comes on or what have you, you do your hair, spray it. Yeah, good morning, gorgeous. That's your word for today, mister. Word for today. Good morning, gorgeous, yeah. And it's not being in a vain way, it's just a way of you appreciating yourself and, you know, giving thanks to yourself as well, you know. Yeah, I think so. So now we've got chapter 3 for Ceri. She has to do the rest of the chapters in this film. Lord. You've got 3 chapters there.
Oh, okay.
You see? Now the youths have to...
I have to put it to the crew.
You have to put it to the crew. You know the crew are not easy either, Jason. They're not easy, that crew. Oh dear. Yeah, they're not easy, but it's good because we learn from them, you know. One thing about young people, you learn from them, you know. Oh, thank you, Jason, for joining us. I really appreciate it. I'm not going to keep you any longer. I can't wait for you to come down and bring my hunter's chicken. If you don't bring it, let hubby bring it instead. And when you've made my dress, please do. I mean it. You know what? I'll be sending you a text. Where's my dinner? Yeah, and everything. But I want to say thank you so much for giving your time this morning, letting us know what you do and how it works, which is good, and being the chapter of Ceri's new film, Freedom. Marvelous. Thank you so much. In there.
Very exciting.
See, we've got 3 chapters in within less than an hour. Oh, thank you, Jason. Bye,
Ceri.
Thank
Bye.
you. Take care,
See you,
love you.
Jason.
Bye. Bye. Great. Welcome back to the Goddess Jazzy show. That was Jason, the psychologist, and he was psychotherapist. Thank you, darling. Psychotherapist, telling us how it works and the type of people that he sees and how to. He gives his all in that session, because I needed to know how do you take yourself out of something, but he doesn't. So yeah, that was interesting to know. And the fact that we've got 3 chapters. And are you happy?
Yeah, of course. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
I think it's a potentially great idea. It might be too huge an idea.
But it's
It's
good.
a very huge idea, and we.
And no one else has thought about it.
No,
you know
nobody's
what I
thought
mean?
about it. People do think about freedom all the time, but they mean different things.
Yes.
So I think and the main thing we're going to have to do before we even start this one is pull some money so we see it through.
What about a GoFundMe?
We could try a GoFundMe, but really GoFundMe is just, you've got to market it out there. Because really GoFundMe people don't just arrive on GoFundMe and think, what should I give some money to today?
Yeah.
You have to do all the marketing to pull people like your friends and everyone else. So you might as well use your own website or Just Giving or PayPal. And GoFundMe is just an outfit that's taken a cut.
See, that's why I'm glad for you, because I would have known it be like that.
There's no shortcut to fundraising. You are going to have to go out and get an audience and persuade them they need to give you money. And really, all that GoFundMe is just a receiving platform for the cash, which takes a cut.
Does it?
Oh yeah, and not only that, it has control. So if it doesn't like what you're doing,
it can
just not let you have the money.
See, people, all you people out there, I didn't know any of that. I thought it was a charity-based.
In our dreams.
Yeah, and that they help you. I didn't know they take a cut. Can you imagine?
Of course they do.
Because there's so many GoFundMes for funerals and things like that. You mean to say you take a cut from that as well?
Of course they do, yeah.
Oh,
And they call it a administrative fee.
That.
Yeah, no, they're a money-making machine. We shouldn't have any illusions.
Wow.
It's important if you're fundraising to try and find out what is the most accessible and cheapest online donation platform or giving platform that you can use.
Yeah.
Because you can get royally screwed. So another example that is shocking.
Yeah.
You'll find, and I did one recently, but I knew in advance, but I took a decision that it was worth it. On Facebook, you can do a birthday, like say it's your birthday, you do a fundraiser.
Yes.
Say, don't give me a present for my birthday. Give £1 to cancer research, or give £10. I did it for World Right, obviously. But the way that Facebook fundraisers work is the money is going through PayPal to something called PayPal Giving Fund. And what happens, so for my birthday, I had 40 or 50 people make a donation. I raised about £1,000, and you can see it all there and thank everyone there, and it's all very public, and that's great, and add little pictures or whatever, and show your fundraising progress and say thank you with whatever. So that's all very nice. Yeah. But PayPal Giving Fund, take the money from your friends. Yeah. Don't pay it to you, to the charity, for 2 or 3 months. They hang on to it, and they write to your charity
to make sure it's
no, that you have to have done all the registering. And you do all the sort of litigious checks. We did all that years ago, and but what they do is they write to your charity and say. And they say, PayPal Giving Fund has decided to give you a grant of £1,000. And you're like, no, that's money I raised off my mates on Facebook. How dare you say that it's a grant from you guys? That's money from my mates. I've been onto their head office about it, they're American based. And talk to their staff. Yeah. And their staff didn't even know that that's what was going on. And I was in touch with their head office in America after a friend of mine did a PayPal Giving Fund fundraiser for World Right. And 3 months on, we still hadn't seen a beam. So I rang their head office to say, look, friends of mine did a fundraiser for the charity I run on Facebook, but the charity has still not received the money. Why not? What's going on? And the customer service guy, oh, well, it's an administrative process and all the rest of it. Oh, my. And And I said to him, do you know that the people you work for, when they do pay out the money, claim that it's a grant from them?
So
And he was shocked. He didn't know that. He knew about the delay thing and said, oh, he would try and speed the process up. I mean, because I put in a complaint and I did a written complaint, the money turned up about a week later, but still 3 months. And they're making interest on that money you're taking. And imagine there are millions of Facebook users doing fundraisers for their favourite charity, using their birthday as a hook. Don't give me a present, give it to that.
I've seen it,
Yeah, give it to this marathon runner for cancer or something or other. And then this PayPal giving fund is... oh yeah, they take a cut as well, by the way. But they've got the interest for 3 months. On millions of users, millions of pounds.
Oh my gosh, well then we won't be going GoFundMe or the other one.
No, so I
mean,
go into it with your eyes open. I decided that a birthday fundraiser was a good way to do it. So I did it. And all my friends are on Facebook, so I did it. But I knew the charity will not see that £1,000 until probably August or something. And then Worldwide will get a letter, which just makes me laugh, saying they're giving us a grant of £1,000, and you're like, you cheeky bees, you know, that is my mates.
This world is just scamming. So Sherry, what I want to ask Kerry, I keep doing it. What I want to ask you, if you could choose something to change in the world, what would it be and why? One thing.
Oh, can I only have one thing?
Alright, then have two then.
Can I have two?
Yeah, have two.
I'd like everyone in the world to be well off, number one. In other words, to feel they have what they need, because everyone well off is all things to different people.
That's interesting.
But so I'd like everyone in the world to be well off.
Why?
Well, because I think when you have the material resources, I think, you know, we've talked about freedom and freedom as a political thing, and that's crucial. And I would say my second thing, and I think they're entirely related, would be everyone in the world to have all the freedom that they need. But I think freedom from want, freedom from being hungry or poor or without a house, or and so my friends in parts of the developing world live a semi-subsistence life. You know, you are thinking, you don't even have the luxury, you wouldn't be sat talking like this, you don't have the luxury of free time even, or even a concept of free time, because your life is just a struggle for the next meal and for survival, and that for humanity is unacceptable to me, completely unacceptable, which is one of the reasons that our charity slogan, which always got us into trouble but I still believe in it, is we used to say Ferraris for all. We believe, you know, and that's not because I particularly want to drive a Ferrari. I'm terrified of fast cars. I'd be useless. But the point is, Ferraris for all means fighting for the best for everyone, and everyone to have access to the best, and what it is you want. And so, material prosperity for all and freedom.
Beautiful answer. Now the next one I'm going to ask you is, here's £1,000. You either take that, not 1,000 million. You either take that, no, I know what you're going to answer anyway. I'm just going to ask you. Or you go back to B6 with all the knowledge that you've got. Why? Which one are you going to choose and why?
That is very, very tempting. Both are very, very tempting, isn't it? But
I know exactly what you're going to choose.
No, I think at the moment, given my situation and the charity, I'd have to take the money. I'd have to take the money. Although, you know, being a kid, growing up on a farm, you know, and all of that, fantastic. I'd go through, and the thing is, I'd do it all again, all of it. Everything I did and loved, and the politics and the trouble I got into.
So there's nothing you would have stopped?
I regret nothing. I I went out with a lot of boys and a few girls in my life, and some of them I wouldn't bother doing it again because you know.
Well, you done it.
About a week on, you're like, no, dump them. I did go through them like water, really, and always had a good time. But because I love dancing. I was a proper, out all night dancing.
Yeah.
Always meeting new people and falling in love for 24 hours, and then
I remember them days. Yeah.
But even all of that, I'd probably do all that again.
You do all again.
So the point is there any value in repetition? I'm not sure. I think the £1,000,000 right now might be more useful. So if anyone's got one, give it to me. I need it. We've got to get somewhere for the charity.
Yeah. Oh, that's a brilliant. And I like the fact that you'd go back. There's no regrets.
No,
I'm going to meditate on that for myself now.
I think no regrets.
Yeah.
Because even if you ended up in a relationship that was a bit crappy, I had a first husband that was an idiot, really. But when I married him, I didn't think that. It might have been 2 weeks later. No, it was about 6 months later.
Yeah.
But so there's always a.
But at least you saw it in 6 months.
Don't rewrite history. Because even if you had a narcissistic relationship or whatever. I bet you also had. There must have been something that you liked.
Man, the way he treated me was bloody marvellous.
Well, there you are. So you see, there's no point. I think we just have to recognise what we're capable of changing and moving on and doing all that. But where does regret get you?
I'm gonna meditate on that today.
I could regret being broke and being 65 and having no pension and no income, and actually it's a nightmare. But I regret none of it. None of it.
This is a good learning process for me as well. Try not to regret.
It's purposeless.
Yeah.
What does it achieve?
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing. Move on.
Yeah.
Learn from your mistakes.
Learn from the mistakes. Yeah.
And that's it.
Oh, I like that. Oh, Kerry, you are good, aren't you? She's like my mum, she is. Oh, she's amazing.
I'm probably older than your mum.
No, you're actually younger. My mum's 70.
Is
yeah,
she?
You're younger, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Wow, live with no regrets. And the thing is, we're always harping on with regretting. That's the thing about it. So I'm trying to turn it around now and think, okay, let me try and not regret that. That has happened for a reason, isn't it? Yeah. Interesting. Okay, we're going to play another song before we're nearly up, and then we're going to come back. We're going to have some last minute anyway, 1 second. Here we go. Let's a bit of Michael Jackson. Oh, Billy Ocean. There we go. Welcome back to the Goddess Jazzy show. I'm still here with my lovely guest Ceri Dingle, and it's been an insightful conversation today about World Right. She needs money, you know where to hit me up at. Hit me up, I'll give the information to her. There'll be a new film out called Freedom. Maybe not. Is it called Freedom? We don't know.
We don't know yet.
know.
We'll have to see what the
Oh, yeah,
our
maybe.
young crew and
That's true.
what your listeners might come up
Yes.
with. And the best way to get in touch or have a look at what we've done, because we've got films
Tell
from
them.
all around the world.
Yeah.
And some stories like the CLR James story, great revolutionary from the Caribbean, Trinidadian born hero. Some of them you'll find fascinating. But if you go to our website, you can find out about all our films.
Let them know where
and
the website
debates.
is.
So it's www.worldright, WORLDWRITE, worldright.org.uk. And if you go to Worldright, and just remember, it's world like the world, right like write a letter, all one word. You can find out all about what we're doing. And then if you're in London for some reason, or anywhere in the UK, think about doing a spot of free film training with us.
It's brilliant, Pete.
Get involved.
Yeah, it's
or
brilliant.
you can, we've got volunteers who are in Kenya who
Ooh.
come to our Zoom crew meetings. They can't
Yeah,
film with us,
yeah.
but they can do bits and pieces out there and go and film stuff
Wow.
where you are on your phone and contribute those bits.
See, people, if you want to do
You
short
know.
films and things like that,
You know,
this is
you
the place
might
to
be
come to.
somewhere in South Africa and want to contribute a bit on the freedom issue from the South
Yeah.
African perspective. Shoot a bit on your mobile phone. We do sessions on how to shoot with your
Shoot.
mobile
Okay.
and how to get good sound with your mobile and those kind of things. Then you can contribute to the film that way.
Yeah.
Anything goes these days, you know, and so make the most of it. And don't forget, if you're in Yorkshire or Leeds or up north and you can get to Leeds on the 27th of May, come and see the UK Solidarity Story.
Nice. Nice. Very, very nice. And have you got a lingering word to tell people out there that, or a young person that is struggling? What would be your word of advice?
Just remember, there is a lot of help and advice and older people wishing you well and wanting you to be your best. And so just think, actually these days you can be anything you want to be, but you have to be prepared to ask and ask for help.
Okay.
Persuade people
Yeah.
they should support you, and they will.
Great advice, people. On that note, I'm going to leave another song because I've done rap now. Rapping with what I've got to say. Let's play something from ABBA. Enjoy. Welcome back to the Goddess Jazzy Show. I want to say thank you to my guest, ceri dingle, filmmaker, director, and to Jason, the psychologist that came in today. Jason came in on the phone, Ceri came in, I keep saying Ceri came in to talk about World Rights, the establishment, which is based in Hackney, where you can have free training. If you're a youngster, you can go there for free film training and documentary making. So hit it up. Yeah, I want to just say thank you so much. And until next week, I've been Goddess Jazzy. You've been a great audience. Take care until then. Lots of love.